gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Well, actually, children of all ages probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast because I do tend to use profanity from time to time. And that's right, I'm Sean Evans. I am one half of Cabin Fever Podcast. The other half is old Matt Whitney. And on today's podcast, we discuss and watch UFC 200. That's right, everybody. We cover it from the beginning and then the end. Well, sort of. I got a little tipsy towards the end, so my memory and things and, shit gets a little discombobulated after a certain point. So please enjoy the podcast. And remember, everybody, just be thankful that we don't all get drug tested in our day-to-day, everyday life, and it's only professional athletes that get held to a much higher standard of living. So remember, don't do any estrogen blockers, or you'll lose out on millions and millions of dollars. See ya! Hey everybody, welcome to the Cabin.
Yeah.
No, seriously, welcome
Cabin
to Cabin
Fever.
It is just Matt and I here in the cabin. We're enjoying a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in San Diego.
Gorgeous.
We're anticipating UFC 200. I just ordered it.
Yeah.
We have 12 minutes before it actually starts, and I'm pretty stoked. So
It's
Matt,
going to be a good one.
Are you anticipating any of these fights? Do you want me to fill you in on any of these
Yeah,
fights? Maybe I should bring out some info.
Well, I'll just say, the appeal for me going into it obviously was seeing Jones and Cormier. When did we watch that? We watched that fight, the original
Brewski's,
fight,
right?
at Brewski's.
Yep.
That was, how long ago was that?
That was a
year,
long
2
time
years
ago because I would have to say it must have been 2014.
Right. Yeah.
Must have been 2014 because Jon Jones was out for a while.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was right after that he got stripped of his title and everything like that. So just the build-up of this return fight has been so crazy, especially throughout the last few UFCs and their promos and everything, and the, back and forth hatred between DC and Jon Jones. It's just unbelievable, really, that 2 days before the fight, something like this would go down. So do you know, was he tested in, preliminary testing?
Okay,
Is that how it goes down?
This test happened on June 16th.
Okay.
Okay, so, and what they were calling it was out-of-competition test. So they take this test, and then the results, I guess, take a while, and for some reason they got the results 2-3 days before UFC 200 is supposed to go down, before Cormier-Jones, the rematch, finally is going to take place before it was supposed to go down. Then Jones had his trouble with the log, had the whole hit and run, that whole craziness. Then they have to put that match on the sideline. Between that time, Cormier, goddamn it, whoever he fought for the interim title.
Right.
Damn it, I can't believe I'm forgetting. Cormier fights, so they get that title. Now we're building up to it again. Jones is back. He's done his rehab. He's dealt with all the shit he needs to deal with. And now we're finally just tiptoeing back into it. We're getting all excited for it. And then he gets busted.
Yeah.
Because now the results from that June 16th test finally comes in, and he's busted for a banned substance. They haven't exactly said it. Maybe they have on other podcasts. I haven't heard what the bad substance is. When I first heard this news, I was extremely disappointed. Almost I'm do we really need... I'm like, is this drug testing really that important?
Yeah.
Do we need to be this stringent? And, if we're not, 100% sure he didn't, truly go out of his way to take this substance, I don't know how these guys
it operates. Like, if people are just coming to him, like, hey, you should try this supplement, or you should try this or that. Like, I don't really know how this goes down. Like, I don't know how a banned substance would get in Jon Jones's body. And he's never been busted before. He's been clean every single fight. It's only been his outside of the ring activities that have gotten him derailed from fighting, and now it's come down to this banned substance. And I'm like, I'm almost thinking, like, is this real? Like, do we really know if this is like a real thing? Like, I mean, what if this is like a big thing just to fuck with Jon Jones? I don't know. Like,
well, it
doesn't make sense to me. Like,
when you say that, ever since we talked about fixing the NFL, I've been like, I think that now about every major sporting event, and I'm like, how perfect the hype they build this up to, and then all of a sudden he can't, because it's like a storyline they can come back to. They throw in Anderson Silva, which is crazy.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I'm so skeptical now, and then not to change the subject completely, but like the NBA Finals that we just had, where they're down 3.
A lot of people saying that shit was. Even fucking Curry's wife said that shit was probably fixed.
Yeah, 3-1, the best team in the NBA in the world.
And Curry, by the way, had probably his worst performance in a long time.
Yeah.
He was not playing up to his level. I didn't even watch any of the games, but I did watch like a bunch of clips and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I like to think that UFC is the last bastion, but who knows? There's so much money involved, and their operation is out of Vegas. That's where you make bets. That is the hub of fighting and gambling, especially here in America, is fucking Vegas.
Yeah.
So I just don't see how having Jones not fight Cormier would benefit anybody. But I guess it could, maybe. I don't know.
Something at play that we're not understanding. And
yeah.
Also, I mean, what do you think, though? What do you think would have happened? I still think Jones would have won.
He would have whooped up on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so then, like, I know Jones knows this, so it's like, why would he even go or even attempt to try to do something illegal?
Right.
Especially knowing if he really truly was jumping through all these hoops to try to get back on track, staying sober, because he loved the yayo, the cocaine.
Yeah.
He loved cocaine, drinking, partying, doing all this crazy shit. He was well known to really just kind of breeze through training camps and just come in and pretty much plow through dudes. And it seemed like he at this point, he was focused on fighting, and the partying was not a part of his life anymore.
Right.
And then now he gets popped for this illegal substance. It boggles my mind. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And Silva and Cormier, I'm not excited for that fight. Like, I really wanted to see Jon Jones and Cormier fight. I really wanted to see that.
Is it for a title?
No.
Yeah.
Silva and Cormier, no title involved. Anderson Silva hasn't been... He just got gallbladder surgery 2 months ago.
Oh, did he?
He hasn't been training, really. He's just started really getting back into training. And then now he's stepping up, and he's going to fight Cormier. Anderson Silva has fought at light heavyweight, which is 205. Cormier is going to be coming in much heavier than 205. He's an elite wrestler. Anderson Silva, he's obviously a legend, but he's lost, I think, 3 fights in a row, something like that.
Yeah.
Lost 2 to Weideman and 1 to Bisping, which was the most recent fight. Then he had surgery on his gallbladder, and now he's back and he's going to fight a dude who's at the top of his game right now. And Cormier has been training for Jon Jones for almost over a year, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's been training for Jon Jones for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then now he's going to come in and face slower, older Anderson Silva, who usually fights at 185, which is a big difference in weight. Anderson weighed in at the weigh-ins at 198, and Cormier came in at 206. So already that's a big difference in weight, and he's going to be heavier. Both of them will probably be a little bit heavier, but not by much. And Cormier is just so good. I guess we'll find out later tonight what's really going to go down.
So what's in it now for Cormier? Could he have backed out, I guess, but he just wouldn't have got paid?
He wouldn't have been paid.
Yeah.
This is supposedly this is planned to be the largest UFC card ever.
Right.
It's stacked. We had the surprise thing with Brock Lesnar coming off the bench from WWE. He's going to come fight Mark Hunt, who's a fucking beast, who's a knockout artist. And then a couple other, we got Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo, Miesha Tate is now the main fight, which I don't agree with, but okay, let's do that. Miesha Tate and...
so is she fighting to retain her
title? Yes, so Miesha Tate's fighting to retain her title. Frankie Edgar and Aldo are fighting for an interim featherweight title, which Conor McGregor is holding right now, but he'll be fighting at 202 against Nate Diaz. At 170, just to fucking fight. No title or anything involved in that.
Wait, who is?
Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. So no title fight.
When?
So, 202. September. I think that's in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
in this card. I know, right? Yeah, that would be badass. Yeah, just fucking fight tonight. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the titles. It would have been... Okay, so there are 2 interim titles. It would have been the light heavyweight. It would have been Jon Jones, Cormier, and that would have decided who the true light heavyweight champion was. Mm-hmm. Now, Cormier is the true light heavyweight champion because right now, Jon Jones is suspended for 2 fucking years. He cannot fight in the UFC for 2 years.
That sucks.
He can't fight at all. At least here in America.
He's done then, isn't he?
No.
No?
He's young.
Okay.
He's... I think he's 28, so when he comes back, he'll be 30 years old. And if he's training for 2 long years and he stays straight and narrow, he can come back and just destroy. But currently, right now, the big news is Dana White isn't talking to Jon Jones. So he's not taking any calls from Jon Jones. He's not talking to him because... As far as Dana White is concerned, Jon Jones really fucked up. Really fucked up the card. It cost him a lot of money because they had to remake all the remake all the promos, remake all the posters in Las Vegas. Take him off everything, all the promos.
And he's wheeling and dealing, trying to sell that baby right now too. So
4.2 billion, billion, son.
Dang.
The basketball team, the Clippers just sold for $2 billion.
No shit.
And that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
So this whole organization of the UFC could go for $4.2 billion, which I'm pretty much sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive it's going through. And Dana White will stay on as whatever he does, whatever he's considered, president or whatever he is. So he'll stay on. He'll still be the matchmaker, organizing, trying to move all these crazy pieces. And this is a great test. I mean, if you've been paying attention to UFC 200, it's been a fucking whirlwind of just people. Just this whole Jon Jones thing alone has been crazy.
Yeah, unreal. That's so much money. That's what Star Wars sold for.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And Star Wars is, my personal worth way more than that.
Yeah.
Disney is going to make so much money off of Star Wars.
They already almost have a return.
Oh, they've returned to their money.
Yeah.
Just on merchandise and this one movie alone.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got Rogue One coming out in December, and then they're going to have another Star Wars coming out pretty soon right after that.
Unreal. So, what about Brock Lesnar?
Brock Lesnar, so it's been 5 years since he's actually competed and fought. He got his ass kicked by Alistair Overeem. He came back way too soon. He had surgery, diverticulitis. He had 12 inches of his colon removed.
Uh-huh.
The dude was just eating meat. That was all he was eating. That's how you get that disease. His colon was just backed up with fucking protein and meat because this dude is just jacked up, lifting weights. His quote was, "I'm white, I'm jacked up, get used to it," or whatever the fuck he said. It was something along those lines. To me, bro, I think Brock Lesnar seems like a real dickhead. At least that's the persona that he portrays as a dickhead, kind of the heel character, if you will.
Yeah. Just a machine, really.
True machine.
Yeah. Looks like it just kicked on right now.
Yeah, so UFC 200, we got it going right now in the background. It's going to be starting up. The first fight's probably going to be around 7:30ish. We've got Brock Lesnar. It's been 5 years since he's been truly fighting. He's been in the WWE doing his thing. Obviously, you're going to still be athletic. You're still going to be training, lifting weights, still doing your thing. But you're still getting injured, but you're not getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
And you're not getting strangled. And you're not really... experiencing the full force that a man can do inflict on another man. So
out for blood.
Exactly. And Mark Hunt has been fighting the best of the best in the heavyweight division for a long time, and the dude is a knockout artist. Like, this guy, he's a I want to say New Zealand or Australian, one of those.
Samoan.
Yeah, this dude is Samoan. He's a brick house. All the heavyweights say that this dude punches the hardest. And Brock Lesnar doesn't like getting hit. He doesn't like really getting punched. So
and
Brock Lesnar,
WWE.
Yeah, right. So Brock Lesnar, he is a wrestler. He's going to try to take Mark Hunt down to the ground, and he's going to try and ground and pound him. And then Mark Hunt, I'm assuming he's probably going to want to keep it on the feet. He's probably going to box him, fight him, knock him out.
Yeah.
But Brock is huge.
Yeah.
He's way taller. I am pretty sure his reach is longer than Mark Hunt, so he does have that advantage. And I'm sure Brock Lesnar is getting paid more than any other person on UFC 200.
Oh, really?
He's not even a fucking champ, but the dude brings the people.
Oh, I see.
The people who are going to buy the pay-per-views. He brings the WWE fanship because people want to see this dude fight.
Wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall in those negotiations between agents
absolutely,
and UFC, where they're breaking that shit down, like, dude, this guy will bring this much in, you know? And
they're going to make movies. They're going to make movies about this era at some point, you know, just like I want to say Tobey Maguire. What was the Show Me the Money movie?
Oh, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're going to make things like that, but it's going to be for UFC athletes.
Right.
It's going to be crazy.
Like that show Ballers on HBO. I just started watching that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen previews and it looks good.
But same thing, like what goes on behind the scenes with these athletes and stuff, especially UFC. I mean, it's so big. And you ever listen to Bill Simmons? He's got a really popular podcast. I have not listened to it, but he has a show now that comes on once a week where he talks sports and some pop culture stuff. But he said that he talked about the UFC being up for sale for $4 billion, and he brought up a good point, which I haven't thought about. Is like people already, as a sport, represent UFC. Like, they wear T-shirts that say UFC.
Right.
No one else wears T-shirts that say MLB or NFL or anything like that. Like, the whole sport culture itself is what, like, someone is investing in, and that's why it's such, like, a great product. And so I just thought it was a really interesting point that he made.
Which totally makes sense. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's gonna... I mean, who's buying it? You know,
it's a
good investment.
It's kind of weird. It's a lot of people. It's like a
conglomerate.
A collective of people, of billionaires came together. So we got the dude who owns the Patriots.
Okay.
He's one of the dudes. Some company in China, some huge big ass corporation in China, and then a couple of other guys.
Wow.
And just come together. And like, we've got this amount of money. We're going to offer you this, and I guess.
And you're going to run it still.
Oh, right. Yep.
So really, they're really buying the reach.
Well, the Fertittas will probably step away. One of the Fertitta brothers. They're the ones that came in back in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, and or maybe it was the late 90s. They bought the UFC. They had Dana White on as the president. You know, basically running the day to day. They've just grown it. Over the years, you know, putting up these crazy fights and getting the best fighters around the world to come fight in the UFC. They started the women's division. They've got all these different weight classes and stuff, and they've really built it up to something pretty amazing. Yeah. And I guess that's what you do when you do that. You build something up, and then you sell it for well over $1 billion.
So I would imagine they're just looking to expand it. I mean, worldwide, a Chinese investment firm.
Well, now that the Chinese are getting involved, that opens up the Chinese market. Mm-hmm. So now you can start having pay-per-views over in China. Now you can start selling pay-per-views over in China. Because that has been kind of like a market that's been just not open. It's just not. It's a hard nut to crack to get into that market. Yeah. That's why a lot of movie companies now are tailoring movies for the Chinese market. Like, when they make Transformer movies, that's not for the American audience because it's dog shit, piece of shit movies. But the Chinese people love that type of stuff. Eat it up. They love CGI fest. They love those epic, crazy movies that are just, I guess, Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
They like shit like that. So you're going to see a lot of movies that suck, but the Chinese market is where those movies are really... And you're going to see a lot more Chinese actors. You're probably going to see a lot more Chinese fighters in the UFC when it officially sells.
Yeah.
I'm only assuming. That's my prediction. Who knows what's going to happen? But I do feel like a lot more... Look at old Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Looking good with Goldie.
He was on the latest Bill Simmons episode, too.
Oh, really?
Talking about UFC.
Okay,
so it was really
nice,
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to do? You want to...
What have we got in there?
About a half hour.
About 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
Let's just keep shooting the shit for a little bit longer, and then we'll finish up. Maybe we'll go through the rest of the card.
Okay.
So our previous podcast that we just put out was our book chat.
Yes.
And it's finally out there. So we discussed On Writing by Stephen King, Memoir of the Craft. And then our newest book is The Explorers Guild, Volume 1, which you just came out with. So I just want to remind people, if you're out there and you want to try to keep up, try to do this book chat with us, go out there, Kindle it. They don't have an audio version, but it's out there on Kindle. It's real cheap.
Yeah.
And I just really started reading it, really started diving into it, and so far, 2 thumbs up on me.
Interesting.
So I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Have you dived into it yet?
It's
Okay,
interesting.
cool.
Definitely. Brock Lesnar has a sword tattooed.
Yes, he does.
Unreal.
All right, so the first fight on UFC 200 would be Cain Velasquez versus Travis Brown. All right, so this is a heavyweight bout. These two, Cain is a former heavyweight champion. Travis Brown is a fucking killer. He's currently dating Ronda Rousey.
Wow.
That's the dude she wants to have babies with.
Wow.
That bearded fella right there. So yeah, Cain's a beast. The dude's a boxer. He's had some fucking wars with Junior Dos Santos back in the day, which kind of... when you have like crazy wars with certain fighters, it really took some tread off the tires. So Cain, ever since then, has been a little bit off, but he's slowly kind of gaining back his momentum. And Travis Brown is just a fucking beast. So we got Cain Velasquez. He's 13-2-0, and then we've got Travis Brown at 18-3-1. I'm going for my prediction. See, these two, I keep going back and forth. Currently, Cain Velasquez is ranked number 2, so he's number 2 in the heavyweight division, and Travis is number 7. But Travis is on the tear. God damn it. I'm going to go for Cain. What do you think?
Okay. I will go for Travis. Going into it knowing nothing.
Oh, right.
You say he's on a tear, maybe he just keeps it going.
I just feel like he's fucking good.
Beard game.
Yeah, he's got that beard.
Testosterone.
All right, so we got the interim featherweight title. We've got Jose Aldo, who's ranked number 1, and then we've got Frankie Edgar ranked number 2. And Frankie Edgar's a fucking beast. But Jose Aldo, he hadn't lost in years until Conor McGregor knocked him out in 13 seconds or something crazy.
Yeah.
So Jose Aldo, 25 wins, 2 losses, and then Frankie Edgar, 19 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. Just Frankie's really, really fucking good. The dude's from New Jersey. He trains hard. He's got heart. The dude is just fucking crazy, crazy, crazy good. And then there's Jose Aldo, former champ, and
going out for to make up for
a loss, exactly. All right, so I'm going for Frankie.
Yeah,
that's what I've been drawn to Frankie. I just feel like it's his time. He's ready. Matt doesn't know.
I have no idea.
Coin flip.
Yeah. I'll back you up on this one.
You going for Frankie?
Yeah.
Good choice. The remix card. We got Daniel Cormier. He's the current light heavyweight champion of the world. 17-1. His only losses to Jon Jones. Then we got Anderson Silva, who's ranked number 5 in the middleweight division. He's 33-7. And I'm gonna have to go for Cormier. I don't think Anderson will be able to keep up with Cormier.
Yeah, I think the same thing. And, you know, Cormier was dealt a raw hand, you know, so I think he might even go in a little bit more fired up. And he's been training to literally face the best.
The best. The absolute best. And there was a time where Anderson Silva was the best at 185, middleweight. 20 pounds is a big difference between 205 and 185.
Yeah.
That's huge difference. And when you come in there, you are not weighing that weight. You blow up because these dudes cut weight. So this is crazy to think about that Anderson would even contemplate jumping in there. But I applaud him for his tenacity and for his heart as a fighter to get in there. But I just feel like this is hurting his overall mystique as a prime time, amazing, phenomenal fighter that just blew through the middleweight division time and time again, and then just gets knocked out and gets in the most insane fashion ever, breaks his leg. Oh my God, I can still visualize it. It hurts my shins to think about. And then he loses a decision to Michael Bisping, who is now the middleweight champion. He knocked out Luke Rockhold, which is pretty crazy to think about. So I guess, I mean, he is technically facing the best of the middleweight division, so I guess we'll see. It should be fun. All right now we're watching Travis Brown come out, and we're just about to the UFC 200 card, and then we're going to sign out, and maybe we'll come back after the card, and then we'll let me finish this up. We got we got Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt. This is weird to look at. So we got Brock Lesnar 5-3.
Huh.
And then we've got Mark Hunt 12-10-1. 12-10, that's really not a great record to really, when you look at it. Let's see the reach. So Brock Lesnar has a 5-inch reach advantage, or no, I'm looking at height. So he's 71 inches tall. Brock is 81 a reach advantage. That's huge against 72.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and he's got no neck.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's nothing but muscle.
Yeah.
See, the only thing with Mark Hunt, he's just been going. He hasn't stopped fighting.
Yeah.
Like truly fighting the elite of the elite. And Brock Lesnar has been out for 5 years. That's a long time. A lot of people talk about ring rust. They talk about, to me, I don't think Brock cares about that shit. The dude's been in the spotlight. He hasn't stopped being in the spotlight because the WWE puts you in the spotlight, even if it's choreographed or not. You're still up there.
Well, Mark Hunt's just going to be resting, on his experience too.
Right, exactly.
I feel like he's going to be able to read the fight so much better.
Exactly.
But
I'll let you pick first.
I'm going to go with I would want to see Mark Hunt take down Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to see this guy just walking.
Oh, right, yeah, and just plow through.
It would, make for an interesting match, but
all right.
I mean, it is going to be an interesting match.
Oh, it's going to be a phenomenal fight. I'm going to go against my instincts. I'm going to go against the Super Samoan. I'm going to go for Brock Lesnar because I would like to see him win so that he would continue to fight in the UFC. He'll continue to want to put on these crazy super fights with other heavyweights. Because I just want to see this dude fight, even though I don't think he's playing the heel role. I don't know, maybe he's a nice guy, but to me, I just think he's a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
All right, so the main card, the last fight of the night, we have Miesha Tate, Cupcake, and we got Amanda Nunes from Brazil. Miesha Tate's 18-5, and Amanda Nunes is 12-4. This is for the championship, so we got Miesha Tate against Amanda Nunes. I'm going for Miesha. I've been team Tate for a long time, even when she was losing to old Ronda Rousey. So I'm going for Team USA, Miesha Tate.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
Good.
To retain the title.
Yes,
I feel like she's earned it. She beat Holly Holm. I mean, that was an incredible fight.
Such a great fight.
And I didn't think she was going to win that. And she really stood up to her. And so I hope she wins.
Yeah, Holly Holm was looking so good, especially winning against Ronda Rousey in that fashion. That head kick and that that still image of Ronda, like her chin askew, and her just the lights are out. It's just crazy.
Yeah, that's been some fun fights. I hope this fight like lives up to those ones.
Yeah,
too.
me too. There's been so many times I've ordered a fight and then a fight's over and like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck? It was exciting for the like split minute, but I'm like, you mean my money's worth it?
Yeah. Yeah. To see the same like 10 seconds, you'll see replayed over and over. And over.
Right.
So,
all right, cool. So we're about to fight. Matt, you're ready to fight?
Cabin Fever card. Go
ahead. We're about to start the card here. We got Cain Velasquez versus Travis Bound. Should be a good one.
Yeah.
We'll touch base after the card.
Sounds good. All right. We're back.
Good googly moogly. UFC 200. It's a wrap. Matt Whitty, what do you think? Oh my gosh, so much has happened.
It was good. It was, I don't know, all I can think about is the Tate fight. It went one round.
It did just go one round. Okay, so let's talk about that fight real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Lasted one round. Yeah. Miesha Tate is not victorious.
Yeah. Giving up the belt after what was it? Yeah, that was it. Right?
One round,
one round.
She just Amanda Nunes. She basically just knocked the shit out of Miesha Tate.
Yeah, it was a good night for the Brazilians.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're retaining titles.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Brazilians, so Jose Aldo beat Frankie Edgar for the decision for the interim belt, the featherweight belt, 145-pounders. What do you think of that fight?
That was by far the best fight of the night.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Jose was on point, man.
Yeah.
He was
very focused.
Very focused. He was, I felt like he was just playing defense the whole time.
Yeah.
It was letting Frankie come in. And then Jose laid some real good shots on Frankie and bloodied him up real well because Jose, he looked great. Like he, no blood, no real damage.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like, he couldn't connect with him. He was dodging everything very well, playing
very
defense
quick.
well.
Very good.
Yeah, just got in there when he could. And like I kept saying the whole time, it was just such a bummer that his fight with McGregor didn't go past, the minute mark.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like it would have
13 seconds and knockout. Yeah.
It would have been a really, really good matchup now looking back in hindsight. But now it sets the stage for them to rematch eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that'd be something definitely I'm looking forward to seeing now.
All right, so we started off UFC 200 with Mark Hunt and Cain Velasquez. And Cain ended up winning that match. What did you think of that bout?
Wait, no, you mean Mark Hunt or Velasquez and
what did I say? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis Brown.
Travis Brown, yeah.
Yep.
That was a good fight. It only went one round, which was kind of a bummer. Took him down.
Yep.
It was a good fight, but, it could have gone longer.
Yeah.
Got the best of him. And then Brock Lesnar.
Well, but before we get to Brock, let's talk about Cormier and Silva.
Yeah.
So this was the fight that Cormier should have been facing Jon Jones.
Right.
This should have been the final fight of the evening. This should have gone 5 rounds of these two, Jon Jones, Cormier, just battling it out. But obviously that was not to come.
Yeah.
Jon Jones, he's out. He's done. We won't see him for 2 years, and now we have Cormier, and we had Silva stepping up out of nowhere. The former 185, the middleweight champion, coming in to fight the 205 champ, the light heavyweight champ, Daniel Cormier, who's been basically training for, I feel like, almost a year plus to fight Jon Jones, who's the number one, the top fighter in the world, really, in his division, in his realm.
Yeah, just coming in with a lot on his shoulders, being the champion, but really wanting to prove himself as a champion. But I think all of that was pretty well displayed in his fighting tonight. I mean, he was just ready to go, and Silva wasn't the best opponent for him. But
no, it went the distance. It went 3 rounds, and Cormier was the winner.
Yeah,
by decision.
He took him down pretty easily. Easily and technically, and that's just another fight where you really wanted to see him and Jones, like see what he could have done with Jones, because I really feel like he was better prepared to knowing what he was going to get into, and it was a good fight, but I think it was just a letdown in general. Like how do you come back from hyping up a fight like it was and having it disappear 2 days before?
Right.
I'll still give it to him, and it'll still be great to see Cormier defend his title.
Oh yeah, Cormier will be back. He'll be back at I almost guarantee he'll be back at 202 or 203. This guy, he will be back, and he wants to defend the title against the next contender, whoever that may be. He's ready.
You have to wonder like how it'll affect his legacy, though. Will there always be an asterisk of him?
The media will always leave that asterisk there.
Yeah.
Jon Jones will always be that opponent that Cormier. It'll be that one loss on his record, at least for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Who knows what'll happen down the line? Maybe with appeals or ruling or something like that. But we can only hope that Jones can come back sooner than 2 years and Cormier is still around
because
Cormier's
older. He will eventually reach a threshold to where he won't be competitive enough against these younger fighters.
Right.
And Jon Jones, I'm as far as I know, I'm pretty sure he's 28. So if he's suspended for 2 years, he'll be 30 years old. And if he's training between those 2 years, he'll be fine. He'll make a comeback, and he'll have to rise again in the rankings of the light heavyweight or the heavyweight or whatever division he decides to come back at.
Yep.
Which is a bummer. All right, so moving on, we've got Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
Which was it was a good fight, but Brock Lesnar definitely dominated.
Yeah.
The guy, 5 years out of the cage, he's been in the WWE doing his thing in the choreographed realm of wrestling in the WWE, and now he's back at fighting, and I'm stoked to say that he's won. He beat Mark Hunt, and Mark Hunt is not anyone you should just brush aside as some easy opponent. This dude is a true competitor at the heavyweight division. This guy is a top notch.
It must have been hard in his shoes to prepare, though, just because Brock's been out for so long and probably didn't really know what to expect as far as fighting style goes. And I think it seemed like it did take him by surprise.
Yes.
Just constantly going for the immediate takedown and just unable to break himself free.
And I didn't know. Mark Hunt's 42 years old.
Yeah, I didn't know.
He's an old man.
Yeah.
That's an old man in the fight game. And what was Brock, 38?
38, yeah.
Which is still, that's old in the fight game.
But a man in such good shape.
But he dominated over Mark Hunt.
Yeah, he was ready to go.
He was so strong, so ready. And at this point, Brock Lesnar is still technically under contract with the WWE, but I feel like he will have more fights in UFC.
Yeah, they're
down the road. Absolutely.
Everyone's going to want to see what he can do against other opponents,
absolutely.
And I'm sure other opponents
he'll make another run.
Wanna...
I feel like the surgery that Brock Lesnar left on was a real hindrance to his game, and 5 years. He probably should have returned a little earlier, but 5 years is what it took, and now he's back, and let's see what he can do. And if he can do it, awesome.
Yeah, amazing shape, though.
Yeah.
And so quick. So
Very
much faster
quick.
than I expected.
I was expecting much less from Brock Lesnar, but the dude, top notch.
Yeah.
Awesome game.
Yeah, so I hope to see him again. I'm sure other people want to get in there with him, too, and see what they can do.
Absolutely. Yeah, they want to see there were a lot of heavyweights and light heavyweights watching Brock Lesnar, see what he can do, and seeing if they can match up later down the road, because that's a big money match.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. If you're fighting Brock Lesnar, you're going to make a good payday.
Yeah.
And when you're in the fight game, that's a big deal.
Yep. Yeah, so then that was it.
All right, so what would be your overall grade for UFC 200 over other UFCs that you've watched in the past? I know both you and I were not like huge UFC. We've not watched every single UFC in the past, 10 years that they've been around.
Yeah,
or anything like that.
Just speaking from an observer,
yeah,
it was nice this time because we're usually in a bar watching it. I mean, it gets super exciting, especially for like Ronda and Holly Holm, or Conor McGregor's last fight and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You got the ambiance of everyone's like really pumped up. But this was nice, just kind of chilling, at your place and watching it go down. As far as like the fights go, I still think it was really exciting. The Aldo fight, I think, was a lot more because I didn't come in like, really, rooting for that fight necessarily,
right,
but it was really it was like a treat.
Yeah,
I don't think 200 was as hyped up, but that's only because it didn't go down the way as it was intended to.
Yeah.
But it was still a great card, and I think it's set up for some future, really good future events
absolutely.
too. So
Definitely.
I think it definitely did that. And then Tate only going one round. It's like we were talking about. Like that's just kind of what seems to happen. Like the Ronda home, or not even Ronda. Well, I mean that was a good fight too, but the Tate and Holm fight that went 5 rounds and went to the bitter end, I mean, you can't expect that every time. Like, the UFC is such a gamble as far as first round or 5 rounds, so, you didn't see it coming, but that's just the way it went. But it was still fun to watch, and I think Nunes, she'll be really interesting now to watch, too. Like, I feel like all these female competitors coming up, it's just like you really don't know what to expect with them. So
it's a whole new thing right now, especially with UFC. I mean, the women's division it's an up and coming thing, and all these women they're learning new skills, they're upping their game, and that's what you have to do to be really successful in the UFC. And I love watching this progression.
Yeah,
it's still rough for me to watch women, like especially Miesha Tate. She got fucked up. She probably has a broken nose. It's still a little rough for me to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little,
But I do know, going into it, that's what they signed up for. They signed up to beat the shit out of each other, so do that.
Yeah. It was good, though. It was really good. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, great UFC. UFC 200. I'm curious to see what it's when it stacks up to UFC 100s. And then UFC 196, because Conor McGregor, he claims that is the highest grossing pay-per-view, is his pay-per-view against Nate Diaz. So I'm curious to see if what happens with UFC 200.
I think anything Conor McGregor from here, at least for his next few bouts, is going to be a huge ticket.
Yeah.
Just because he's such a good showman.
Absolutely.
And he knows what he's doing. And
he knows how to
gonna
sell
hype
fights.
Exactly.
Whoever's involved in any of his fights, you better give him a pat on the back, because this dude knows how to talk a paycheck into his life.
Yeah. I think even like any non-UFC spectator seeing promos for his fights, I mean, they definitely pique your interest. And so I knew nothing about Conor McGregor until he fought Aldo.
Yeah, me too.
And then watching the lead up to that was just like incredible.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting for sure.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Oh, do you have any recommendations? Putting Matt Whitney.
Yeah, I do actually. Going along the theme of music-themed podcasts that I listen to.
I was about to go there too.
Okay. I would recommend the Record Podcast.
Ooh.
It's just a music-themed podcast from a guy in a band called Dr. Manhattan, and he interviews people from the music scene.
I've heard that name before. What is this Dr. Manhattan? What's his deal?
It's just a band.
Just a band?
It's a band called Dr. Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know too. I never listened to them myself.
Right,
That's just the guy that hosts it.
Okay, cool.
But he interviews people from the music scene, and not only musicians, but producers and just other people affiliated with a lot of like. They get into more like background of recording, financials, how records come together. That's pretty interesting. I like it. So I think it's relatively new. So.
All right, cool.
Isn't Dr. Manhattan the newest Marvel character?
Yes.
Is he?
Yep.
Oh.
He's all blue and crazy. And...
Oh, yeah. From, what was that? The Watchmen.
Yep, The Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's what it's going to be.
My recommendation is Boys Night Out. That's right, everybody. They're back.
Yeah.
Black Dogs, their EP. 6 songs, but they're pretty good.
Is
I listened to it. Yeah,
Okay,
I bought the
cool.
album, $3.99 on Amazon.
Nice.
Go buy it. Why not?
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Just do it. It's 6 songs, and it'll take you back.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Oh, good.
I listened to it today. I liked it. I appreciate it. It's taken me back.
Yeah.
It's going to probably take me a few more listens to really, like, sing along to it, but I'm liking what they're putting out.
That's sweet. I gotta
Yeah,
check that
I'm
out.
hoping they'll pull out a full-length album down the road. Maybe they'll do some touring and all that good stuff, but a band that I'm digging, and they're back in action.
That's cool, yeah.
Yep.
I've been meaning to listen to.
Yeah.
I guess while we're on music then, I've been listening to the new Blink-182 album.
Oh.
Cause what if I dream of going back to San Diego? We bought a one-way ticket so we can go see The Cure and listen to our favorite songs in the parking lot and think of every person I ever lost in San Diego.
It's really cool.
I haven't listened to it yet,
Yeah.
so you do recommend?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah?
It's really good. It's also, it's fun, it's lighthearted, kind of
Really?
like a little throwback. They have even a couple fun, like, funny jams in
Ooh,
there. Like, it's,
okay.
It's a really concise, like, straightforward,
Yeah.
like, pop-punk, like, good time of, like, it's just
What,
fun.
what's
It's
the
a
album
fun.
called? Is it
California.
California.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a fun album. Like, I really feel like they really went in and did
So
a
do
good
you think
job.
they're tapping back into the old school Blink-182 vibe, or
A
I'm
little
I'm getting
bit.
a no over here?
It's a little bit. It's... What?
I've been hearing gnomes.
I feel like it's a. I feel like they tap into it more than they have, but they are grown up, more serious, structured songwriters. So it's like their self-titled album as far as they're grown up.
Do you know the backstory with the lyrics? Do we just have Mark? Do we have Travis? I mean, who's contributing to the music? Do we have
Matt.
Matt? Yeah, do we have Matt contributing as well?
It's both of
Really?
them writing.
So,
yeah,
okay,
and he's singing like probably not. Probably less than half
When he
the
would
album,
be
but
singing Tom's parts?
yeah. So my overall takeaway is that it's good. It's a little throwback, Blink-182, but you do get a sense of you are missing those Tom songs, like that he would have. That were very Tom has such a poignant voice.
Yes.
But at the
Yes.
same time, the album stands alone very well.
Okay.
But there was a part of me that's like, oh, we could use like a Tom like jam in here.
Okay.
Because that's what you got. You really got
Yes,
two
yeah.
different sounds always out of Blink-182, which has made their album so good. And it's Mark's had his own projects with Plus 44 and everything. It's definitely not the Plus 44 record. It's definitely a Blink album. And then
See, that's what I don't want. I want Blink. I don't.
It's a Blink album.
Okay. Cool.
And Travis is amazing as always. Like his song, I mean, his drumming like really makes some of the tracks too. It's so on point.
Right.
And you can't go wrong. But they're great. They're great songs. I think the radio song is really good, Bored to Death. But there are some like other jams on there that are really good, even if not better than.
I'm so
than
stoked that you brought this up because I
Yeah.
was so curious about this album and I wasn't really sure like is this real in a way?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, do they really have a new album like without Tom? Like, is this going to happen? And it
Yeah.
happened. So
And
I will definitely
yeah.
check it out with your recommendation.
And I'm
for
biased
sure.
because I'm a Matt Skiba fan from Alkaline Trio.
Yes,
I've been
yeah,
a fan of them
as
forever.
I am
so
as well, yeah.
it's kind of like a dream for me as a music fan that they would work together and come
It's
out
almost
with
like a
an
super
album.
band, but they're still calling themselves Blink.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I'd be totally lying if I wouldn't say like, yeah, I mean, they could use a Tom. If it was going to be like a complete cohesive album, then yeah, he'd be on it. But he doesn't want to be on
Do
it.
you know?
So.
Are they working on an Angels and Airwaves album? Like, is Tom?
Dude, that guy is so far in his own
Is he
head.
just so
Yeah,
out there that we don't even know what the fuck he's doing?
If you're gonna like judge him by social media alone, like he is just only just talking about his secret government UFO books that he's writing, and
Really?
and he's recording like some music, but he's just so far
Hey,
in his
Mom,
own.
there's something in the background.
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. When you listen to that classic Blink to you definitely miss that element of him being in it. But
All right, if you're a
Yeah.
conspiracy theorist, he has a symbol on his guitar. It's a Freemason symbol.
oh really?
And if you're a conspiracy theorist, you might read into that. So look
He's
into
so
that, everybody.
he's so far into that world.
Oh,
I
he's
mean,
very far off.
I'd be curious to read his books just to see what really goes on in his
Right,
mind.
in
But
his mind, yeah.
it's that's what he wants to do. He's a millionaire. He can do whatever he wants.
Right, exactly.
It's, for like big true fans of the band, like you want to hear him come in every once in a while. But Mark writes great songs, and they did a great job recording.
Yep.
You can tell they're just having a lot of fun.
See,
and
that's
it debuted
that's
at number
what's
one.
most important, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
They debuted at number one
Really?
here in the UK. Like they sold way more than they anticipated.
Awesome. That's good news then. So they're going to go on a world tour. They're probably going to do Sleep Train Amphitheater, all the theaters around the world, and that's great. Awesome.
Yep.
Good news. Great recommendation by
recommendation.
old Matt Winnie here.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Cabin Fever Podcast.
The only Cabin Fever podcast.
The one and only. This is our first kind of UFC kind of podcast, which is fun.
But there'll be more.
Yeah, maybe we'll do more. That'd be great.
All right.
Thank
Until
you,
next
everybody.
time.
So, Book Chat.
Explorers Guild.
The Explorers Guild, Volume 1. Kevin Costner, Matt Whitney, Sean Evans, Cabin Fever. Adios.
Guys, I'm not like you.
George Herbert Walker Bush. Right? Oh, no, that was his dad.
Yeah, and his dad. Yeah, what was he? George W. So just George Walker?
Yeah.
Bush?
Not Washington. Like I requested. I said, Dad, why am I not George H.W.? He's like, that's my name, boy. Because that's my name. He's like, you know what, Daddy, though? I went twice. I went 8.
Does have that over him.
Yeah.
He does have that
He's
over
like,
him.
you worked so hard to give me this office. I took it twice.
You do forget he was vice president, too.
Who?
George Bush Sr.
Oh, okay.
For,
I thought you meant George.
No,
I was like, no, he wasn't.
He was a governor of Texas.
Oh, that's right. We're getting in too deep already.
Yes,
Watch
we
Forrest
are.
Gump. Everything I learned
We need
about
a history lesson. It's fucking Forrest,
about
right?
the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. 70s. Did you see that Snapchat filter?
Which one?
It was Forrest Gump.
No. Oh, yes, yeah. It was the
Him
Bubba
running.
Gump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did they have that up? Because usually they do these new
yeah.
filters when it has something to do with
Like
what's
an
going
advertising
on.
or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, because they have the Ghostbusters one going right now.
Yeah.
Yep. For that lame ass reboot of
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
It's
Have
really
you watched
getting
the
hammered.
previews?
Yeah, I saw the preview, yeah.
I
It seemed all over the place.
And to me, I don't care if it's a all female cast or all male cast. It just doesn't look like a good movie.
No.
I enjoyed Ghostbusters as a kid when I was younger, when it first came out, 1 and 2. I was more of like a Back to the Future type of thing, but I enjoyed Ghostbusters, but it was I never thought of it as like on my constant replay on the VHS back in the day.
Yeah, it's weird reading about it because I don't feel like I realized what a kind of a cult movie it was because it never really stuck with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were really bagging on this reboot. And then I did watch the preview and I was just like, what is this movie even about?
Right.
Are they like literally redoing it?
Forget what happened in the 90s or the 80s whenever those movies came out. And this is supposed to be like completely, not a reboot.
I think that is a reboot. A true,
Oh, that's a
true
reboot?
reboot.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like. A true reboot. Because it's...
Yeah, because a remake would be if they actually did it basically like the same movie, like the original, right?
Well, I think...
Remake?
I think it is a remake, but I think when they use the term reboot now because they want to, like, franchise it, you know?
Oh,
just
yeah.
like Star Trek and...
Yes.
Like, they...
Yeah.
Well, all those are like a prequel, I guess, now, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because the Star Trek, it never really went away, but it did die out because they did continue it in the 90s with the Next Generation cast, did a bunch of movies, some good, some bad, and then it's like completely reboot it,
right,
remix it with the newer cast, but with the old Star Trek with not Picard, but with what's the original?
Kirk.
Captain Kirk and Sulu and all those guys.
I was getting caught up on remix because
remix. Yeah, remix wouldn't be it because that would be like a Like what? Yeah,
Well, that's like
what would a
music.
remix? Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I was thinking like you,
I
you
guess you can't
reboot,
remix movies.
you reboot the movie, you remix the soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Well, they did like Fall Out Boy did a modernization of this.
And that got trash.
Yeah, 'cause
And
it's-
I tried listening to it, and I'm like, okay, this is Fall Out Boy singing Ghostbusters song.
When stuff happens like this, I feel like with like because there's some big name actresses from comedy in that movie and stuff. I just feel like there's an idea, and then studios just throw a ton of money at it. And like you said, like those women are like hilarious, like cream of the crop.
Oh yeah, they're the top of the top.
Yeah.
I mean, if Tina Fey was in there, then I guess it would be complete. With,
Right.
Like the awesome female actresses out there.
Yeah, but it's like they probably could only do so much with the script, and then they try to, those two of those women were in Bridesmaids, which was like so funny, but it's R-rated, and they can kind of do what they want. It's like
Right.
it's hard. I feel like it's super hard to make a really good PG-13 comedy.
Yeah.
That's probably supposed to like cross multiple genres, like where they want families to come see it, or like teenagers and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's probably not the movie for it's not going to be that great. I don't know.
Right. Because before this original Ghostbusters came to fruition, there were in talks of making Ghostbusters 3 with the original cast, but unfortunately a couple of them died, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Venkman, I believe, died.
Yeah.
The actor who played Venkman, and then the director,
I don't know.
I think Mel Brooks wrote it or directed it or something along those lines.
I
I think Mel Brooks is still alive.
Yeah,
as far
he's
as I
still
know.
alive.
Yeah. So yeah, and then Bill Murray was always hesitant because if you don't bring a decent script, he's probably not going to do it.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how Bill Murray's become like this very like godlike comedic presence?
Yeah. It's
Like
a
he's
mystery.
hilarious. He's funny.
Yeah.
Like he has laid like some very like important groundwork for comedic actors, but I don't
it's
get
off the
it
wall.
really. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like the Chive. If you're into the Chive, like
Yeah.
they love Bill Murray. They put this dude on a pedestal, which is cool. Like I appreciate Bill Murray.
Yeah.
He's funny, but I've seen a bunch of his movies where I didn't laugh and I didn't think he was particularly great.
Yeah. And he takes like these offbeat, off the wall. I think
And that's what he's doing right now,
Yeah.
which is cool. I like that he's kind of punk in that way.
Yeah,
Punk rock.
I think that's some of the appeal is he just does what he wants when he wants to do it. He doesn't like subscribe to any tropes or he's just looking like an old dude who's just having fun.
He really does look like he's having fun.
Yeah. He's in this new HBO show called Vice Principals with Danny McBride.
Oh.
And I don't know how big of a role he is, but they just showed him in one of the previews as the principal.
Yeah.
And
Has this show started yet?
hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I'm
very
gonna have to
eagerly
watch it.
anticipating
Yeah,
it because it looks from the previews it looks hilarious.
Oh,
And-
sweet. And it was HBO, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's and the other guy is I don't know his name, but he was in Django Unchained and he was in
Jamie
Hateful-
Foxx, Matt? He's pretty well known.
Was he the slave? And he was in Hateful Eight, also. Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
No, just kidding.
I'm like, oh, really?
No, he's a white guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in it too. I don't know his name.
What role did he play in the Hateful Eight?
He was the sheriff.
Oh, that's the dude I love. He's
Yeah,
such
you
a
were talking
great-
about
he's
him.
such a badass good actor, but
Yeah.
I don't know his fucking
Yeah.
name.
And he's been in a lot of
Shit.
stuff too. And
Oh,
I can't.
he has.
I can't think of his name, but yeah, he's the sheriff, and the other one he was like, I don't know what he was in Django Unchained, but I know he went in to cut Jamie Foxx's dick off and then didn't.
Yeah,
It was
I
that
think he
guy.
was just one of those like ranch hand assholes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
a sickening dude.
Real sicko.
So
Thank you.